Right, we are a week away from Prismatic Evolutions coming out, and it has been a crazy, crazy week over the last 7 days or so. The market is going absolutely crazy, not just for Prismatic Evolutions, but for everything before it and after it, probably as well. Um, Evolving Sky has just hit £1,000 a box, guys. That's absolutely insane. Already after such a short amount of time. I mean, there's boxes from XY that are £1,000. There's boxes that are from Sun and Moon that are less than that. Uh, much older boxes, which is crazy. I mean, Prismatic Evolutions really has set the world on fire at the moment in the world in the Pokemon market. Fusion Strike up at 360, 370 a box. Chilling Rain £325 a box. Silver Tempest at 240. I think Silver Tempest is probably going to be one of the next ones that are going to pop. The Lugia Alt Art seems to be creeping in price. Usually, when the big hit from the set goes up, the boxes go up with it as well. I think that's why you're seeing Fusion Strike go up quite a lot. Obviously, because of the Gengar and the Mew in there. On top of that as well, Lost Origin at £315 a box. Astral Radiance at £200 a box. And the most surprising one to me so far is actually that Brilliant Stars seems to be straggling behind at around £190 a box, behind Astral Radiance. It seems that that booster box set was really printed out. I mean, I've seen booster boxes on Pokemon Center for years now. I think that was probably the last set that got printed to oblivion before everything kind of got cut. But to see that at 190, I think that's eventually going to pop up, and that's eventually going to get a little bit higher than that. Probably break the 250 range at some point this year. Scarlet and Violet, though, is also making some decent moves as well. We've got Paldean Fates Elite Trainer boxes currently hitting £75 a box. Now, at Christmas, at card shows, I couldn't even sell that for £45, £50. People would just kind of turning their nose up at it. Now, £75 a box, absolutely crazy price. Surging Sparks, again, is still surging at £160 a box. There doesn't seem to be any massive restock coming for that anytime soon, so expect the prices for that to start going up even more. Paldea Evolved as well at 160, 170. One of the very first sets that came out. I think it was set 2 or 3 of Scarlet and Violet. That set is already going up in value. I think the next 2 sets that are going to pop for Scarlet and Violet are going to be Obsidian Flames and Base Set as well. Those 2 sets haven't seen any restocks on any buy lists for quite a while, probably around a year or so. I don't think they reprinted much of that Scarlet and Violet Base and Obsidian Flame. So expect to start seeing some prices go up in that. Now, I think the problem with Scarlet and Violet Base and Obsidian Flame is, if you remember when it came out, nobody liked the sets because the pull rates were too high. It was too easy to pull the cards, and ultimately there was no value in the cards. If there's no value in the cards, people don't want to open the boxes. You don't want to pay £100 for a box to pull £4 worth of cards. It's pointless. You might as well just go and buy the singles. So Pokemon adjusted their hit rates throughout the sets, and I think they've actually been doing that across Scarlet and Violet. Shrouded Fable was the sort of the tail end of it, where they've made the worst set with the worst hit rates in it as well, just to kind of test the market. I think that's what they were doing with it, but that hasn't been reprinted either, so it'd be interesting to see what kind of happens to that over the next few years, even though people really did not like that set, but there is not a lot out there at all. But yeah, Scarlet and Violet Base, Obsidian Flame, I think are going to be the next ones to kind of start increasing in price, get to that similar Paldea Evolved pricing. Obsidian Flame, obviously, loads of Charizards in there. If you get good hit rates in there as well, like they were when they were printed, that should help the box prices go up, especially if the pricing on those Charizards kind of goes up a little bit. It's a little bit odd, though, to see Charizards kind of falling by the wayside at the moment. Not many of their cards, not many Charizard cards over the last few years are hitting over £100 range, apart from the 151 Charizard, for obvious reasons. It seems that the kids these days are talking about Gengars, they're talking about Mews, they're talking about Rayquazas, and especially Umbreon, of course, is the big £1,000 card. It's kind of strange to me not to see Charizard hitting those £500-600 ranges that some of these Rayquazas, Gengars, Mews, and all of those are hitting. I mean, the Brilliant Stars alternate art, for example, you can pick that up for under £100 still. So it just goes to show that even the hardest cards to pull of Charizard are still not quite hitting that that £500 range that some of these other cards are. Obviously, one thing to keep in mind, though, I think, as the Sword and Shield era starts to increase in price even still, there's some other sort of off the wall products that you might want to consider going forward as well. And I think the Charizard UPC at the moment is probably one of the most underpriced items on the market. You look at a box of Fusion Strike, you look at a box of Chin and Rain, you look at a box of Evolving Skies. All of those packs are inside a box of Charizard UPC. Charizard UPC at the moment on eBay is about 130 quid. So, make of that what you will. I mean, if you're paying £1,050, I think I see one selling on eBay for Evolving Skies. That's £30 a pack. So I think was there 2 packs in the Charizard GPC. So that's 60 quid right there that you're making back on a £130 box. So food for thought, I think that is. There's a lot of things that people are kind of not kind of realizing. The Charizard GPC kind of got a little bit toxic after it got printed to oblivion, and a lot of people hanging on to them for quite a long time. But I think this is a year you're going to start seeing rises. Already at 130 quid, so it's back at that MSRP price, whereas previously it was down to around 90, 100 pound at one point. I remember at a card show, someone actually offered to swap a Fusion Strike box for a Charizard UPC. So it just shows you how the market was, a couple of years ago, and then you look at how those 2 items have changed. Yeah, it's been a crazy market, guys. Prismatic Evolutions, it wouldn't be surprised if it hits £100 in ETB by the time the release date happens next week. It's already at 75, 80 quid on eBay. I've had a look on Google Shopping. There's just none. You can't find any on Google Shopping. It just sends you to eBay literally every single time, or StockX, or one of these big like marketplace sites. So basically, it seems like your chances of getting it at retail is basically slim to none. It kind of is what it is at this point. I think people are just going to have to either decide to skip the set or pay the prices. Ultimately, I think the card prices are going to probably command some of these pack prices as well. So usually a lot of the time, if the cards don't command those prices, then the pack prices will come down. But as you see with 151, even the illustration rares like the Bulbasaur, the Charmander, the Squirtle, you're getting like 30 quid for those. So straight away the pack prices they inflate. Yeah, it kind of is what it is. You're just going to have to go with it, stay out of it, whatever you want to do with Prismatic Evolutions. There's a lot of excitement about it. What more can you say? I did see a pre-bid for like a hypothetical Umbreon on eBay. It was up to over £1,000. I don't know if that will ever get paid, or if that was just like market manipulation to try and push the price of the boxes up and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure that sort of stuff happens all the time. Something to keep an eye on. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's going to be a crazy week next week. Waiting for the Pokemon set to finally arrive. I think we're due to get it. It'll be Monday. Fingers crossed. Yeah, what else can you say? I don't really know what else to say about it. I think there's a lot of opportunity going to happen this year. It looks like there's going to be a massive surge in Pokemon again this year. Possibly COVID levels, possibly levels of scarcity as well, where it's tough to get boxes, tough to get Elite Trainer boxes. It's going to be a strong market for every single product. Even your check lane blister packs with 1 pack in it that they try and charge you like 8 quid for, whatever it is, even those will probably sell. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy year. They've just announced the new Battle Partners set in Japan, and what have they called it over here? Like someone's friend Journey Together. That's what it is. Be interested to see what happens with that. There's a lot of controversy again over whether there's going to be a promo card in the Pokemon Center exclusive boxes as opposed to the retail versions. Obviously, the fact that Pokemon Center have set their prices at like 145, 150, I think it was, something like that. That will hopefully push the prices of the boxes up, will keep the boxes for retail up. But there's a lot of speculation among stores that Pokemon are screwing us over again because they're making something unobtainable at retail. But I think it's kind of a short-sighted thing. They only print these things once. They're very, very hard to get, and most people don't just buy one product or one box, and most people don't even get their hands on one of these things anyway. So it is what it is. You just have to kind of roll with it. The Pokemon market's going to be really, really strong this year, and yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But that's kind of all I've got for today. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this in the future. A little bit more market analysis and all that sort of stuff. What I think is going to happen as well, because I like to think forward and I like to think about what's going to happen. I'm not someone that sticks with the Pokemon market 100% of the time. I stopped buying Pokemon myself throughout sort of the lower periods, just because it's just not worth it for me to put that capital just to sit there and pack boxes for £5 a box. It's just not worth my time. So, but obviously we're back into the Pokemon market now. I always buy the holiday sets as well because those usually sell pretty well. But I'm always keeping an eye on it. I'm always aware. I'm always active in the Pokemon market, even if I might not be buying the booster boxes and stuff like that. So, It's really interesting to see what's going on at the moment. Umbreon's taken over Charizard's. Evolving Skies at £1,000 a box. Paldean Fate's Elite Trainer box is at 75 quid. Haven't seen any restocks of those recently. Don't know if they're going to go back and reprint that. Let's be honest. At this point, they'll probably just reprint more Prismatic Evolutions. So I think that's basically going to be a lot for Paldean Fates. If it goes up too much, maybe they'll release a little bit of a reprint. But again, the Bubble Mew carrying that set. No one cares about the Agawa Charizard. Again, sub £100. Bubble Mew, what's that like? 250, 300 quid now? I haven't even checked. So yeah, there's loads and loads of movement happening on the market at the moment. There's loads of happening in Sword and Shield. I mean, if you want to stay away from Prismatic Evolutions, Sword and Shield is probably a good way to stick your money into if that's what you're really looking at. There's loads of Scarlet and Violet as well. Like I say, Obsidian Flame base set. Those sets are going to start rising very, very quickly, especially because of the higher hit rates. Now that people are back to normal, the tough hit rates. It's really hard to get the cards. People will probably appreciate those high hit rates eventually when those prices get up to like maybe £200 a box. It'll be worth opening them still because you'll still get some decent cards out of them. But yeah, that's all I got. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments if you're getting into Prismatic Evolutions or if you're leaving it out. I don't blame you if you do. It's going to be a crazy market. Let's just see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching.